Hello and welcome to the final episode of the Beetlejuice My GM mode series. This is it, the final season, the final episode. Let's get into the recap, shall we? We made a little mistake with Bret Hart last time we saw him. I put that he has 2 MVPs. But Bret really just has 1 MVP, so now we could go to the recap. We have our Universal Champion Seth freaking Rollins with a 20-17 record, 3-time Universal Champion, 3-time Intercontinental Champion, 2-time Tag Team Champion, and 1-time MVP. We have Bayley, who's a double champ, our women's champ and tag team champion, 21-20 record, 5-time women's champ, 1-time tag team champion, 2-time MVP. We have another double champion with Elias, our tag team and intercontinental champion with a 13-10 record, 1-time intercontinental champion, 1-time tag team champion, and 1-time MVP. We have the other half of our tag team champions, RVD, with a 3-8 record, 1-time tag team champion. We have the other half of our women's tag team champions, Mommy Rhea Ripley with a 10-14 record, 2-time women's tag team champion, 1-time MVP. We have John Cena with a 34-26 record, 4-time Universal Champion, 3-time Intercontinental Champion, 4-time Tag Team Champion, and 6-time MVP. We have Alexa Bliss with a 6-5 record, 3-time Women's Champion. We have the phenomenal AJ Styles with a 6-3 record, 1-time Universal Champion. We have Robert Roode with a 24-31 record, 2-time Universal Champion, 3-time Intercontinental Champion, 3-time Tag Team Champion, and 1-time MVP. We have LA Knight, with a 14-21 record, 2-time Universal Champion, 1-time Intercontinental Champion, 3-time Tag Team Champion, and 2-time MVP. We have the American Nightmare, Cody Rhodes, with an 18-25 record, 1-time Universal Champion, 3-time Intercontinental Champion, and 1-time Tag Team Champion. He just needs 1 MVP. Can he get it this episode? We have Lita with a 17-19 record, 2-time Women's Champion, 1-time Tag Team Champion, 2-time MVP. We have Raquel Rodriguez with a 9-12 record, 1-time Women's Champion, 1-time Tag Team Champion, 2-time MVP. That's right, Bret Hart returned last episode. We fixed the mistake earlier, as you saw. 14-16 record, 2-time Universal Champion, 1-time Tag Team Champion, and 1-time MVP. We have your tribal chief, the big dog, Roman Reigns with a 7-13 record, 2-time Universal Champion, 1-time Intercontinental Champion, and 1-time MVP. We have Trish Stratus with an 11-18 record, 1-time Women's Champion, 1-time Tag Team Champion, 1-time MVP. We have Randy Orton with an 8-19 record, 1-time Universal Champion, 1-time Tag Team Champion, 1-time MVP, and Daddy's back. We have Gigi, who finally won a women's title. Now she has a 13-16 record, 1-time women's champion, 1-time tag team champion. We have main event Jey Uso, Yee, with a 4-8 record, Yee, 1-time intercontinental champion. I'm gonna stop doing that. 1-time tag team champion. The king of strong style, Shinsuke Nakamura, is back with a 5-9 record, 1-time intercontinental champion. We have Nikki Bella, who was not used at all last episode, still with a 2-16 record, 1-time tag team champion. We have Jake Roberts, who knows, he could have won some titles last episode if he didn't get injured, but he has a 2-3 record. It's time for our Slapnuts MVP award winners, and the male Slapnuts MVP is the phenomenal AJ Styles. He's only been here for a short while, but he's slowly winning all the awards because this is the house, no, the channel that AJ Styles built.
Guys like you would not have made it in my world.
And our female Slapnuts MVP is Bayley. She's been red hot since she's come back to SmackDown. She's a double champ and add an MVP to that resume again.
Come on, did you guys really think I was gonna leave the building?
We have a lot of injuries, so we start off by healing AJ Styles with a silver injury card. Try to get back the phenomenal one. And then we use a bronze injury card. Try to heal up Trish Stratus. It's almost WrestleMania, so of course we have to bring back The Undertaker to SmackDown. And we also bring back Asuka, because no one's ready for Asuka. We start off with Cody Rhodes versus Seth Rollins for the Universal title, and Seth Rollins beats Cody. Cody can't finish the story yet. Then we have John Cena doing some advertising. Elias and RVD defend against Shinsuke and Roman Reigns, and they win yet again.
It's the same thing over and over and over. It's like missionary position.
Then we have Raquel Rodriguez doing some advertising, trying to get that money back. Undertaker versus Jake versus Randy versus LA Knight. We have LA Knight win. Yeah, it's his game. It's a mediocre match, though. Nikki Bella doing some advertising. Fatal 4-way for the title. Bayley, Alexa versus Mommy versus Asuka. And Alexa Bliss wins back that title. Tag team matches started off Kiri and JD versus Johnny and Damian, and Kiri and Cross and JD McDonough pick up the win. Then we have Doudrop cutting a self promo. Braun Strowman versus Humberto one-on-one. Who's going to pick up the win? It's Humberto beating Braun. It's not looking good for Braun. Io cuts a promo. Then we have Candice LeRae versus Dana Brooke in an Iron Woman's match, and it's a draw. This is why I did not do a single Iron Man or Woman's match. Then we have Carolina Reaper calling out Doudrop. R-Truth defends against Rich Holland in a TLC match and new NXT champion. Fatal 4-way between Rich, Butch, Big E, and Yokozuna, and Butch picks up the win against the other three men, continuing its rivalry. MVP cuts a promo, ballin', Charlotte Flair versus Liv Morgan one-on-one. The Queen back on Raw. She cannot be stopped. Wins in a great match. We have Andrea calling out Kaden. Then we have Angelo Dawkins versus Akira Tozawa. I can't believe I messed that up. Rivalry grows. Akira wins. Tommaso Ciampa cuts a self promo. Kevin Nash versus Mustafa Ali. U.S. title. Dewey Carter runs in. Kevin Nash picks up the win. He's your champ, like we still are.
Love that shit.
We have Shinsuke's contract running out, but you know us. We don't let our wrestlers go. We're money bags. We bring back Shinsuke. Alexa Bliss is happy that we kept our word for her title match, and she's the new champ. And then we have Roman Reigns telling us him and Shinsuke, they're the man. He called it, and he's the tribal chief. And then we go and we have a contract negotiation. We give Lita an extra contract. We use the pre-match physio on Elias so he doesn't get injured because our champion, we immediately put him in a title match against Randy Orton for the Intercontinental Champion. And Randy Orton has done it. He's won every accomplishment here on GM mode. RVD doing some advertising. Fatal 4-way Cody versus Seth versus Cena versus Jay. And John Cena picks up yet another win. Can he get to 40 wins? Who knows? LA Knight does some advertising. Rhea and Bayley versus Gigi and Raquel for the tag titles. And Mommy and Bayley cannot be stopped. The team of two mommies. Nikki doing some advertising. Alexa defends the title against Trish, Asuka, and Lita. And Alexa defends that championship. We start off with Candice LeRae versus Dana Brooke in a tables match on NXT. They drew in that Iron Woman's match, but Dana wins this time. Carolina Reaper does a promo. We have Karrion Kross versus Damian Priest. No tag team action this time as Damian Priest picks up the win against Karrion Kross. Doudrop cutting yet another promo. We have Natalya versus Io Sky one-on-one. Who's going to pick up the win as Io Sky does against Natalya? Just Io's on fire right now. Diesel calls out Braun for being tall. JD versus Johnny for the NXT North American title. JD who picks up the win. We have Akira Tozawa versus Angelo Dawkins Iron Man match. Didn't mess up the name this time as Angelo picks up the win. Maybe that's why he messed up. Oh, he got injured. Cool. Dewey Carter cuts a promo. They have Andrea Cannons versus Kaden Carter. Liv runs in, helps Kaden Carter get the win. Then we have Neon Brightstar calling out Charlotte. She wants to be the Bright Queen. Big E versus Tommaso Ciampa. Big E picks up the win against Ciampa. Win a great match. We have Butch cutting a self-promo. A rematch of the United States title. No interference. TLC and Mustafa Ali wins back that United States Championship, but we just continue to win. We have Seth Rollins telling us he has a proposition. He wants Beetlejuice to work with him. And why not? Why not? We have nothing to lose. What do we have to lose? It's almost over. Jey Uso wants a rematch against Cena. He gets it. We go and we bring back Finn Balor. Fatal 4-way Cody versus Seth versus LA Knight versus Shinsuke Nakamura. And Cody Rhodes is on fire right now as he continues to pick up wins. Bayley doing some advertising. Randy Orton defends his title against AJ Finn and Jake the Snake. And AJ Styles is phenomenal as he wins yet again, injures Randy Orton. Asuka doing some advertising. Elias and RVD defend against the former greatest tag team, Cena and Undertaker. They pick up the win, but it's by DQ thanks to Jey Uso. They are not champs again. Roman Reigns doing some advertising. Alexa defends again against Gigi, Rhea, and Trish. This time Gigi picks up the win. Two-time champ. We have Humberto versus Johnny Gargano. No Braun Strowman this time as Humberto picks up the win in a good match. Then we have Doudrop cutting yet another promo. That's 3 weeks in a row. Bobby Marquis versus Montez versus Mace. And Montez picks up the win. Mediocre match though. JD cuts a promo after winning that title. Then we have Io Sky defending the NXT Women's title against Dana Brooke, and she defends successfully and picks up the win against Dana. Carolina Reaper calls out Doudrop again. Axman versus Diesel versus Damian Priest versus Karrion Kross in a tables match, and Karrion Kross picks up the win. We have Charlotte versus Alba Fire in a backstage brawl. They all want the Queen, but the Queen cannot be stopped. Surprised Neon Brightstar did not fight her. Andrea cuts a promo. Then we have Yokozuna and Big Boss Man versus Dewey Carter and Butch. And Dewey Carter and Butch pick up the win in a good match. Caden Carter cuts a promo. Then we have Tommaso Ciampa versus Big E 2 weeks in a row. Big E does not win again, though, as Ciampa picks up the win against Big E. Kevin Nash calls out Mustafa Ali for that U.S. Championship. Neon Brightstar versus Indy Hartwell versus Bianca versus Kyrian. No, it's a tag team match. Bianca and pick up the win. I am just confused, but we're still on top.
I got a lot wrong, brother.
We have Nikki Bella's contract running out, but you know us. We have the money. We're over $1 million. Why not bring back Nikki, even though she has the worst record of any wrestler? John Cena's excited for WrestleMania. Why shouldn't he be? Trish Stratus says she's not 100%. But Trish, we have like 2 weeks left. You gotta just push through it. Speaking of pushing through it, we bring back The Miz. We didn't draft him this season. He's back. We have Gigi versus Mommy for the women's title. This is what we want to have at WrestleMania. Gigi picks up the win, a classic, but she gets injured, so no WrestleMania match. Elias does some advertising. Cena versus Jey Uso versus AJ Styles versus Finn Balor, Steel Cage, Fatal 4-Way. John Cena continues to pick up wins. As we have LA Knight telling everyone whose game this is advertising-wise. Alexa Bliss versus Trish Stratus, one-on-one, no title, but Alexa still continues to pick up the win. And then we have the glorious advertising of Robert Roode, Cody Rhodes versus Seth versus The Miz, Universal title. Can Miz finally win it? Nope. Cody continues to be the man.
Wrestling has more than one royal family.
We have Io versus Natalya again, no title on the line, and Io beats Natalya 2 weeks in a row, I think. Then we have Bobby Marquis cutting a promo. Karrion Kross versus R-Truth, one-on-one. Karrion Kross picks up the win against the former NXT champion. Then we have Billy Slugger cutting a promo. Montez versus Humberto. Humberto just moving to opponent to opponent. He just beats them all. It's 3 weeks in a row that he just wins. Brute Force cuts a promo. Carolina Reaper versus Doudrop. We finally get the match, and Carolina Reaper finally wins. We have tag team action. Karen and Bianca versus Indian Neon. Did not mess up that it's a tag team match this time as they pick up the win again. Kevin Nash calls out Mustafa Ali again. Butch versus Tommaso versus Akira Tozawa versus T-Bar. Tommaso Ciampa picks up the win. 2 wins in a row for him. Andrea Cannon does a promo. Caden Carter versus Charlotte Flair. Everyone's going after the Queen as Caden Carter finally beats the Queen. Someone had to do it. Big Boss Man does some charity. We have Dewey Carter versus Yokozuna one-on-one in the main event. And Dewey Carter picks up the win against the Yokozuna, just like how we continue to win.
I have some Beetle nose.
He looks like a superstar.
We have Finn Balor saying he demands a match at WrestleMania. You got it, Finn. We brought you in to wrestle. Jey Uso's happy about his rematch even though he lost. It's WrestleMania time. We have Alexa versus Trish Stratus. Alexa Bliss picks up the win, completing the rivalry. Trish gets injured like she told us. Rhea Ripley upset she didn't get her WrestleMania match. RVD and Elias versus The Miz and Jake the Snake. And The Miz and Jake the Snake pick up the tag titles, beat the champs that could not lose. Bret Hart does a promo. IC title on the line. AJ versus Finn versus Undertaker versus Roman. And Finn Balor picks up the win, beating the Tribal Chief and the Undertaker. Asuka does a promo. The new Universal Champion Cody Rhodes defends against Seth Rollins, and he finishes the story yet again.
Adrenaline in my soul.
We have one final yeah from LA Knight.
Yeah.
And we end WrestleMania with big match John versus main event Jey Uso in a backstage brawl, and John Cena just can't be stopped. NXT WrestleMania has Carolina Reaper versus Doudrop. Io runs in. Doesn't matter. Doudrop still picks up the win. Then we have Johnny Gargano doing some charity. Braun Strowman versus JD McDonough for the North American title. And Braun finishes as a champion. He's finally there. Mace does a promo. Karrion Kross versus R-Truth yet again. And Karrion Kross beats the leader of the What's Up movement. I don't know. Dana Brooke calls out Candice. Bobby Marquis versus Damian Priest, and Damian Priest picks up the win. Surprise, no NXT title match. Billy Slugger does a promo. Montez Ford versus Humberto backstage brawl. And Humberto undefeated this episode. Amazing. Raw's WrestleMania have Karen and Bianca defend their tag titles against Indy and Neon, and Indy and Neon beat the tag champs Wow, they finally get the job done. MVP does some charity. Kaden Carter versus Andrea. After Andrea called out Kaden Carter, Andrea backs up her words by beating Kaden Carter at WrestleMania. Charlotte Flair cuts a promo. No match for the Queen. Big E versus Tommaso Ciampa Iron Man match. Big E beats Tommaso Ciampa by moving his hips. Kevin Nash calls out Mustafa Ali again. Why no match? Dewey Carter versus Yokozuna. And Yokozuna beats Dewey Carter, avenging his loss, completing the rivalry. Big Boss Man doing a big promo. Why not? Butch versus Akira Tozawa, falls count anywhere, and Akira Tozawa picks up the win against Butch, and we finally do it. We get our final trophy. That's it. We're on top.
I love money, 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 money.
This is it. The end of season 4. You see the Slammy Awards. We picked up the most legends, most fighters for Xavier Woods, and most power cards by Tyler Breeze. We finish off season 4 on top. You see we had the highest profits, rivalries completed, all that stuff. Elias most match wins, Trish Stratus popularity, Elias most match books, Lita's most weeks spent uninjured, and then Brett had the highest average match rating. You see NXT's, wow, Braun spent a lot of weeks injured. Charlotte, look at all the wins. You just can't stop the Queen. Kevin Nash had a lot of high rated matches, but this is it. This is the end of season 4 and the end of Beetlejuice My GM. That's it. We win. We're in the Hall of Fame. We did it. We win GM mode. Welcome to the Hall of Fame. No other managers are qualified for the Hall of Fame because Beetlejuice is just in a class of his own. And once you get the 10 trophies, you can choose to retire or not. But we are ending it. We are immortalizing this SmackDown run. Beetlejuice is retiring. It never felt so good. As you get to see some of our management stats, we kept a lot of promises. We hired a lot of people. 64 rivalries complete, 31 injuries, 11 promises broken. That one kind of upsets me. Look at all the money. It's so much money, over like $1 million for almost everything. Look at the brand management stats. Lowest ratings earned, 87. We got the 10 trophies. NXT with 5. But yeah, thank you all for watching. Hope you all enjoyed this. This is the end of the Beetlejuice My GM series. Check out the next episode for the final stats and who's the best.
Whoever died?
Yeah.
I probably died like 10 years ago.
Do you